speed.
Well, I don't know,
Yeah.
some people are like, oh,
No,
well,
no, no.
I just wonder when he's actually physical. And that's what I was doing.
I've got some fabric here. We can do that in a minute or two after I do the draw coat. Okay, we were wondering about draw cuts, so I built a separate frame that is curved, has some support ribs below it to simulate human skin on a body. This doesn't always work because I don't always get the rapier as sharp as I would like. But when it does, it's real pretty. What I've discovered is that try to get this term. Yeah. That stuff's a little bit thinner. Try to get a little speed here. There we go. Yeah. Once you break through the surface of the skin with a cut, it's a little bit like slicing a tomato. You can't just shove the blade through a tomato. You've got to get some horizontal motion to it. But once you're through that surface, the skin, it just rips right up. The only thing that will stop it is hitting a bone or hitting a frame. And something else.
Yeah. I'll get some tension while you go.
Yeah. Is lancing blows? Don't. And if your opponent's feeling nasty and does that on the way down, think about that as your arm, a section of your side or whatever. SCA fencing blades, they're blunt, they're flexible, they have these big white tips on them, so you can do that number on somebody's torso and you may not call it. A real blade isn't going to do that. A real blade is going to dig in where it hits the first time and go through and then have an exit wound somewhere over here if you're looking at any kind of a curved surface at all. And the more it's angled, the more it's going to go in. Now we're getting to the fun part. of the things I want to play with. Somebody asked about what happens if you got a cloth over the skin.
Green rubber being so
I thought it could, yeah. One other thing, cut and thrust. You know, you whack somebody, it's considered to be a cut and damaging move. This blade is sharpened from there to the tip. It's relatively blunt on the rest of it. I've got my sleeve. Those are all would be considered good cuts in cut and thrust. Notice no blood. I don't totally buy the notion you can whack somebody with a rapier blade and damage them enough that you will kill them. Or not, or incapacitate them enough where you can pick a point. I would not do that with the point of the blade. And I wouldn't do that where I could get the hammer and anvil effect, say on the outside of the arm where you've got skin over bone. But skin over muscle, even a little bit of muscle like in the hand, I don't really buy the notion that's as damaging as cut and thrust says. I don't disagree with it necessarily. Yeah, fabric, basic cotton handkerchief. All right, that one slowed it down. I was being a little hesitant. Punched out past the scales measurement there, but didn't feel like I was hitting it all that terribly hard. The scale maxes out at 18 pounds. Let's call that 20 pounds.
He's actually driven about half an inch of fabric.
Yeah, that will happen. Now, this is fairly sturdy. Linen's a lot lighter than this. This is, like I said, fairly sturdy cotton. Same thing there. Cloth isn't going to slow a sharp blade down very much, unless you've got a lot of it and it's thick. We did a demo like this one time. Somebody took a wool cloak, wadded it up, and just had it sitting there against the target. And I thrust at it, and I played it pretty solidly, much harder than that. And the wool stopped it dead. So the idea that you could take a cloak, especially if it's heavy fabric, I wouldn't want to do this with something like, you know, single layer cotton or a bit of linen, but heavy wool, wrapped a couple times around your hand, will give a fair amount of protection. It's not 100%, but you know, it'll slow down cuts, some chops, not very forceful thrust. It won't necessarily stop everything, but it will give you a bit of padding protection. Okay, now we get to the really fun part of the class, the audience participation section. What I want folks to do is come up here and line up. And you all get to punch the machine.
No, go ahead.
Everybody. What I want you to do, listen up. What I want you to do is just hit it with a normal combat attack. Don't be scared, don't be hesitant. The more hesitant you are, the less you just throw the shot, the more likely you are not to penetrate. And once the blade is in there, I will reach up and catch it and pull it out and measure how deeply you penetrate. Okay, that was about 8.5 inches.
Tickling your back ribs, yeah. I don't know that I'm that thick. That was 2 pounds.
2 pounds.
Yeah.
Come on, July. That was too hard.
Thanks, Ty.
Well, I guess we gotta go outside. In the rain. Fire drill in the middle of class. Wonderful.